Hello friends, in this tutorial I want to explain how we build the release versions. So first we start with some preparations in the repository. We want to change the splash screen first. This is in release, data files, and here we have a splash template XCF. You need to have GIMP for this to modify. Takes a while, GIMP is not the fastest. Okay. Now we drop in the new splash screen. And of course it drops where it shouldn't drop. Oh, come on. Here we are. Let's close this group and we need it to have here. Now let's remove this one here. GIMP, here we are. Doesn't remove, but empties. And now we need to change here the color and the version number. We have here version text. Let's go into the text tool. Here we are. Now let's grab the 4. A good color here would orange or brown. Brownish, I would say. Something like this. Let's have a look in our palette. Like maybe this one or this one. Yeah, it does fit really well here. Now let's do the same with, oops, which color was it? This one. Here, now let's do the same for the version text. Here we are. And now we need the version number 2.0. And that was it already. Let's save it out. Export as splash template. This is the splash, not as splash template, but splash. Export. And this was replacing the splash screen. This happens automatically when I build the next time. Then this splash screen is in use then. Let's close it. Oh, of course. Save. We need the new splash screen. Here, now let's close it. Now the splash template is changed and the splash screen is changed. On with the changes in the repository. This goes on with the hint with what version Bfoartists is compiled. This is in release scripts, startup, BLUI, Bfoartists, not UI. Here we are. Bfoartists, VM Python. And here we search for 3060 copy. This has changed. Okay, now let's search for. Here we are, 3116. Let's update this one. And save. Okay, this is 3.20. And this is already based at 3.30 alpha. We are always one version ahead. We built from the master. Let's save this. The next is the number for the Windows exe. This is release Windows icons. And this is WinBlender RC. Open with code. When you try to open it with Visual Studio, then you will get something weird that you cannot really modify, as you can see. So open it with Visual Code or another text editor, and then you have the raw text here. Okay, here we have numbers. Here, take care that you use a comma, not a dot. And here we use a dot again. This is ready. Let's save it. Next is we have defined our Bfoartists version number here in Source Blender Blend Kernel in the BKE Blender version H file. So let's go to source, Blender, Blend kernel. Here we are, BKE Blender version, and define Bfoartists version. This is 2, and this is the patch version 0. This is a bit odd here, but we haven't found a way to solve it any different. For now, this works, so we use it. Let's save it. Packaging. We usually, we have never made any of the Blender packages, but for the sake of having a consistency here, we nevertheless change the versioning number. This is in build files. CMake, packaging CMake. Here we are. And this is, let's have a look, what do we need here? Line 85, here we are. This is the file for when you build an ANSYS installer, but I think we have never managed to create an ANSYS installer at all. We use another installer, not the ANSYS. We use InnoSetup. It is way simpler to use, but we will come to the InnoSetup at a later point. And this was it with the changes at the repository already. What you need to do now is to empty the build 64 folder. Always start from scratch. I have done it already here, but for the demonstration here for the video, always clean this and make a fresh CMake. Make it from scratch always. There can always be a little difference can make the difference that you build something broken. So always clean. Always start from scratch. So let's configure. Leave this blank. And at Windows there is only one thing that you need to change here. This is cycles, CUDA binaries. Everything else, optics for example. At Linux you have a problem with the path. I will show this too when I show how to build the Linux version. But here the path, let's go to advanced to show this. Here the path already fits. It is not like in Linux. So it is really the only thing that you need to change here for the Windows release version, cycles, CUDA binaries. This is the only thing that you have to tick here, generate. And the next step, but I think we all have run into this, for the release version, you of course need to build a release build. Okay, and that was it. Start the process with install. Create. As told, I have done it in the other folder. This was just for demonstration purposes. Let's have a look if the new version starts. Always check, it is very important. And always make sure that in the AppData directory, the Bfoartists folder is deleted. Always test with a blank folder here. Now let's create it new. This is also something that I have to check always here. 3.20 is based on Blender 3.30 Alpha, and the rest fits. Now we have a release version. Let's make an installer for it.